Okay, you're building through marathon training. You get to a long run of 35K. Do you keep on going? What is the better way? Now, I got a great question in the comments below. Once you are at 35K for your long runs, do you keep increasing it or stay put and work on increasing speed? It's a great question because it's very, very simple, but something that people often struggle with. What do you do? How much endurance do you actually need? We need to assess the goal and always work back from the goal. So the goal is to run on a morning, in this case, a marathon, as fast as you possibly can. So we're working towards that over the week and over the training program. The long run is there to boost endurance, aerobic capacity, stamina, and also mental toughness. The chances are, if you're running 35K and you're not doing it at marathon pace, you're probably out there for longer than you are going to be. Time-wise, you're out there for longer in your training long run than you will be out there on marathon day. The chances are that. And so what is a better way for you to get the absolute most out of your long runs? One thing to consider is this. Look at the week. You got your recovery runs, your easy runs, your interval session, your speed work, and you've got your long run. What do you enjoy most? For me, I love the interval session. I get anxious before it. I want to get it right. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit like on race day. It's even more important for me to box off the interval session than it is a race. I know once I get to the start line, I'm going to give myself the best possible chance to do as well as I possibly can. But when you're on your own, doing an interval session and you're tasting blood and it's kind of going off the rails and you're trying to get it back on the rails, for me, it builds character, and that's fantastic for your race. You might be the same. You might enjoy the faster run in the intervals more. You might enjoy the long run, like a lot of people. I love the long run because usually it's me out there. Again, it's on my own, constantly questioning your sanity. Why am I out here 3 hours, 3.5 hours later? I just literally my favorite days are patching together fountains, natural fountains in Granada, in and around Granada, just getting to the next fountain, putting my water and drink in, and then going again. And everybody who's kind of enjoying their Sunday meals with their family is looking at me like I'm an absolute lunatic. And often I've got my shirt on because I always live in hot countries. You might enjoy that, and I completely love both of them. Now, in order to improve, to get the best possible result on race day, you want to work to what you enjoy because you're likely to do what you enjoy more, but you've also got to be aware of your weaknesses and how to improve your weaknesses so they actually become strengths. Because if you can improve a weakness to become a strength, it's going to propel your result much further forward than if you just develop a strength. So what I would do is this. 35K is a great distance, long, slow distance, time on your feet, building that endurance, aerobic capacity, mental toughness. I've got to start building in specificity to that long run. So you've got to get to a point where you're like, okay, long, slow distance, I've got the endurance, it's not going away anytime soon. I've got to keep the consistency there. I've got to keep these long runs coming every Sunday. But what I would do is bring it back a little bit. Bring it to 25K, for example, and then put segments, either intervals or a segment at sort of tempo pace or threshold pace at or around about the pace that you want to hit for marathon. Always be thinking that if you're going for a certain time, and hopefully that's an improvement on where you've been before, unless age comes into it, you're trying to improve on the last time you did this, then that pace is important to work at. So you want to be building volume in your training, in your intervals, and in the long run at race pace, at marathon pace, and faster. The more that you do that, the more comfortable race day is going to be for you and the more enjoyable it's going to be. There's no feeling like it than getting to 33, 35K, everyone's dropping like flies and you've done the homework and you feel fantastic. Quads are in great shape and you're passing people because not only do you get that sort of negative split buzz, you're also picking people off. So you've got your next target and then you're moving forward. It's a great feeling, especially in a big city marathon, whether it's London or New York or Berlin. Can really, really inspire you to knock off not just minutes, but 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And it's a big, big difference. So I would condition my body to get used to marathon pace and running faster. So a typical 25K long run, which I kind of call my nice medium sort of 15, 16 miles, 25K, I'll go out there and I'll do when I'm preparing for a 220 marathon, I'll do 5K at 4-minute pace, which is 20% slower than marathon pace. Then I'll do that middle 15K at marathon pace, which might be marathon pace 320, 319. And then I'll do the last 5K at 4 minutes per kilometer, so 20 seconds slower than marathon pace. So the whole volume of the session is 25K, but a big clip of that, 15K, is at marathon pace, is at race pace, and I'm feeling confident afterwards. What I may do to change that, if it's incredibly hot, which it often is in Granada and Chiang Mai, is I'll bring that back 10%. Now, I'm kind of kidding myself there a little bit, because the heat and humidity and what it takes out of you is way more than 10%. But I know that if I want to live in those countries, I need to, if I'm training towards a race, especially if it's London and it's going to be 12 degrees on the start line, I need to get my biomechanics used to running at marathon pace, used to running at faster than marathon pace, so that I'm not getting cramps at 30K, 35K because my body's working faster than it usually is. That's exactly the same for you. So if you're going out there, a lot of people do this, say your target time is 5 minutes per kilometer for the marathon, and you're always doing your long runs at 6 minutes or 6 minutes 30, because long, slow distance, everybody talks about it. What then happens when you get to 30K, 35K at 5 minutes is your hamstrings are not used to doing this amount of work at that pace. Your calves are starting to scream at you. What's going on? Why are we doing so much work? You've got to prepare your body to go to battle on that marathon. And by that, I mean be in control for as long as you possibly can during the race, during the marathon, so that you can pass people in that final third and really get the most of your race day. You've got to condition your body. And the more that you work with specific long runs, like to bring the distance back a little bit, 25, 30K is sufficient. Every third, fourth week, go back to that 35K, keep that confidence that you've got the distance under your belt, and then maybe a progressive long run. So that might look something like 24 kilometers and split it up into 8s. First 8 kilometers, 20% slower than marathon pace. So for me, that would be 4 minutes per kilometer. Next, middle 8 kilometers, 340 per kilometer, just 10% slower than marathon pace. And then the final 8 kilometers at marathon pace. And what that will do for you is, first of all, put you in a great position to run a negative split, but also condition your body. You're out there for 24K. It's a long time, plus the warm up and cool down. And you're finishing at exactly the pace that you want to be hitting for marathon. Massive confidence booster. Hope that answers your question. If you've got any further questions on long runs or interval sessions, please pop them in the comments below.